it's your first inspection of the year, the spring. And today it's March 10th. It's the first day that it's above 60 degrees. And I'm really excited to get into my bees, but so how do you go about it? First, get your smoker, get your jacket, because the bees are going to be very excited when you pop open their hive. Let's bring you a little closer. So you're going to open up these hives and they're going to be dirty. Okay? Now here's some sugar that we were feeding them. I'm just going to peel this back to try to avoid getting sugar into the hive. And I'm going to just start getting in here. Okay, now it's not uncommon to get in here in the spring and it's just going to be, it's going to feel like concrete. Just slowly work the frame out. This one wasn't that bad. I'm going to just drawing it out. So I'm going to set these down and just take a quick look, see if the queen's up here. Now it's 62 degrees, first day above 60 degrees. That's a lot of honey, look at that. Holy moly. Sorry, you're kind of in the shadows here. More honey. Man, look at all that honey. So they don't need honey. They're doing good on honey. Okay. Usually they make their way up to the top box. They've emptied out the bottom box. And when the bees are thick like this, I usually drop my hive tool in there and let them get out of the way. Give them a second to get out of the way. And I'm just going to kind of get an idea. So now I'm into the middle frame. I don't see any brood, just more honey. No queen. Okay. Starting to look like we might see a little brood. I don't see any cat brood. All right. Oh, there's the queen right there. Right there. There she is right there in the middle. Unmarked. See if I can mark her. Well, you know what, I'm not gonna handle her. But seeing that she's up here, I know that she's on that side, so I can put this frame back. Okay, so I'm going to take this top box out real quick. So that's good, we've seen the queen. That's always good. So what I'll do is I'll take the bottom box. What we'll do is I'm going to dump all these out. And the mower, I'll come by with the mower and so mulch them all up. Okay, so I really like using these new entrances. I started using these at work. They're really cool. Okay, so I'm going to put this one back down. Put this here. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go through this box real quick and just clean it up. Okay, so I'm going to turn this on its side and it makes it easier to just clean this right off on the top. This really only takes about 30 seconds. And this is some really sticky stuff right here. You want to get this dark comb off. Even if it was light comb, it's good to dress this up and clean it. It just makes moving the frames and moving the box so much easier. Okay, so that's done. Now what we'll do is we'll pull the frames out and we'll replace any frames that are really dark and nasty. Any frames that have dead outs. Oh man, it's so sticky I can't even get this thing to break. Okay, that one just broke. Okay, I finally started to get them out, and I mean, these are so dark. Look at that, they're coming out. These are all going to be replaced. I mean, that one right there is good, but I mean, these are all ready to be replaced. Very old. So I'm going to put a whole new box with better frames in here. And that way, these bees can get to work. So I'm going to go through here and clean the box up. So it's nice and clean. Looks like this was built with the handles on the inside. That's funny. Okay. It's looking pretty good. When you do this, when you take just a few minutes and clean all this up, it really makes the frames move around in there. And if you're collecting, you can do this right into a tub too, a big large size tub, and you can catch all your propolis. This is bee glue. This is what makes everything stick together. Okay. So we took the top box and we made it the bottom box, okay? Because that's where we seen the queen. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna smoke the bees so they go down, and I'm gonna put this box on. When I smoke like that, it means less bees are gonna get in the way, less bees are gonna get crushed. So now what we do is we fill this in with some frames. They can draw out. These frames have a little bit of honey on them, so these are good candidates. So what's going to happen is the queen's going to come up here and she's going to start laying right away. Okay, I just like to dress up the frame a little bit so it's nice and clean when I put them in. Okay, we just need a couple more. It's nice and clean right there. That will do right there. Okay, that's a good top box. They're going to be able to get right to work. Lots to do. And we'll put our vent box back on. I keep yelling like the microphone's not right under my throat. One thing we're doing different this year is we're using canvas. We're using, we cut up some drop cloths for our inner covers. This is the first year we've used this, so we're gonna see how it works. We'll see. We used to use feed sacks and they just start deteriorating after a year or two. So that's it. That's all there is to it. In most cases, March, April, you're swapping boxes because they've used up all the resources in the bottom box. They've moved up to the top box. That's why we remove the queen excluder. If you don't remove the queen excluder, that means it keeps the queen down in the bottom box. You can't move up with the colony to where all the honey is, and that means she could freeze, or the hive could freeze because they're staying down with the queen. So it's important to take that top box and make it the bottom box because bees naturally like to work up, and then put some good frames in the top box, maybe some blank foundation so they can work, draw out some wax, and put some frames in there that have drawn out comb for your queen if you have those available, so she can start laying, they can start expanding, and because she'll start laying in them right away. So it's just about that time. I'm watching the bees fly in here and none of them have pollen, so which means that the queen really doesn't need to start laying right now, but when she's ready, which will be in a week or two, you'll start seeing the pollen coming in. You can start feeding pollen patties because they don't want to get too big or start creating too much brood because they balance it. You know, bees can count, and based on the size of their hive, if they don't have enough nurse bees to warm or keep the brood warm, because we're going to still have some chilly mornings here in Michigan, that you could get chilled brood. So make sure you watch your bees when the pollen starts coming in. Then you can start laying on the pollen patties. If you'd like to see how to make pollen patties, I'll put a video up in the corner. Check that out, and you can make your own patties. You don't have to buy them. So thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you on the next video. Unmarked. See if I can mark her. Well, you know what? I'm not going to hand